Fortnite recently hit 3.4 million concurrent players. Now, if you're wondering how big that is, that's about 5,714 middle schools worth of children playing this awful game. Fortnite also recently surpassed League of Legends in viewership on Twitch. League of Legends! During a championship. YouTubers have also recently been caught switching from PUBG to Fortnite while accepting a couple of dollars under the table from Epic Games. I mean, how else are you gonna get the word out that your game is free, better, and memeier than PUBG? You know, the game developed by the person who basically created, or revived, and sort of repopularized the Battle Royale style. You know, Brendan Green, or as he's more commonly referred to, Player Unknown. Yeah, how's that for edgy usernames, am I right? Dude also really likes trench coats. So why is Fortnite so popular? Well, let's start with the price of the game. It's free to play, which, as we have seen time and time again, proves to make a game more popular, whether the game is awful or not. Team Fortress 2, League of Legends, Hearthstone, Paladins, and now Fortnite. All the games listed are games that are free to play and are popular because of it. Now, I'm not saying just making a game free to play is gonna immediately boost its popularity. I mean, just take a look at Paladins. I mean, look at that player count. That is sad. I mean, it's okay, but it's still sad nonetheless. What would happen if we were to take PUBG and make it free? We'd basically have Fortnite just without the building mechanics and the RNG mechanics of the weapons, and overall, it'd probably be a lot more popular than it is. That being said, it's still buggy as hell, and that is a bit of a turnoff, and that's why people play Fortnite, other than the fact that it's free. But moving back to Fortnite. Fortnite is free to play, as we established, and because of that, people see this game and go, oh, hey, I can play this game with my friends. Oh, and I don't have to pay. You know, that really helps with my college debt. Or for the 12s, wow, a game I don't have to make my mommy buy for me. Amazing. As their mom shoves them in a room with a PS4 because they don't want to be a parent anymore. Because that's too hard. I'm honestly not sure why I queue up with so many 12-year-olds. I mean, it's almost like it's a free-to-play game. What else makes this game so popular? Popular people. Yeah, I said that. YouTubers, Twitch streamers, official Twitter accounts, meme pages, you fucking name it. Fortnite is everywhere. Most of the time, it's because Epic Games gives a little bit of their pot of gold to these people in order to help, you know, promote their game. And I don't necessarily feel like that's a bad thing, because, I mean, that's what companies tend to do, and, I mean, this is kind of creating a rivalry between Fortnite and PUBG, which doesn't need to exist. Really, it's really just a ripoff. Brendan Green was really worried by Epic Games making Fortnite because they were tied to him and his game and could possibly steal content before it's released in PUBG and release it into Fortnite, which is something that I hope would lead to a lawsuit because that shit would make me moist. Basically, it's kind of messed up to pay people to promote your game that is basically a ripoff of another game that you are also helping to work on, basically creating rivalry and competition, and it is just stupid. And from what it seems, Fortnite is getting a lot more popular than PUBG, although PUBG had its time in the sun, I guess. PUBG isn't entirely based off of RNG, just based off of luck, which is RNG, and pure skill. You could outskill someone with a pistol or your fists, and they could have a rifle. Or you could shoot them with a pistol. Really, if you're good at aiming and the enemy is a complete brain-dead retard, you have won the fight before it even began. And the weapons don't get stronger based off of some color you found them in. Honestly, that's the stupidest part about Fortnite. If I have a Kar 98, and my enemy has a Kar 98, we're both shooting at each other, and I win, that's because of the fact that I was just better at using the weapon than he was, and figuring out where to put my gun and location to him based off of how far out I am, not because of the fact that I had a more accurate version of the gun based off of a color that I found it in. Fortnite is literally luck-based in that sense. I mean, this can also be argued with PUBG, in the sense that it's really just luck-based whether you find a good weapon or not, and I mean, honestly, the Kar 98 is the best weapon, whereas so is the Mini 14, because the Mini 14 is pretty fucked, but even then, nonetheless, it's how well you can use the weapon. That being said, you can also make an argument with Fortnite, and the fact that with the weapons, if you're just shit at aiming, you're not gonna really hit anything. I mean, then again, sometimes it's like you basically have fucking aimbot, and you don't have to aim much, and you just somehow hit the hitbox. It just doesn't even make any sense. I'm sorry, opinion-based rant over. You 12-year-olds can go leave your dislikes and your furious comments if you want. I'll respond to every single one. Now on to the second half of the video. the history of Battle Royale. At this point, half the people watching will have tuned out because of the fact that I'm no longer talking about their favorite game.
Fortnite.
Rest assured, I will still bring it up. Just give me a bit. The game mode started from Last Man Standing, a game mode anyone should be familiar with. Last Man Standing is a mode that you still see in games today, a team deathmatch where once you die, you can't respawn and are forced to watch up until the last man on your team is standing. And once the person on your team is eliminated, you lose, and it's self-explanatory. It shares the same aspect, but a lot more open, and with a lot more players, and sometimes it's not even teams, it's just solo players. Battle Royale just adds more of a survival aspect to this, with the idea of picking up weapons around the world and items to help out your health. Basically taking RPG games and mashing it together with multiplayer PvE. In theory, it sounds cool and fun. For a while it is, but it just gets repetitive after a while. We all know of the Hunger Games books and films, and the amazing game known as Minecraft. Well, did you know that after the release of the film, a popular game mode named Minecraft Survival Games was made? In this game mode, you and 23 other players would spawn in the map and rush towards the middle to grab some loot, then run out into the world to find more loot in order to take on other players. You know, like the Hunger Games. And anyone with a bow was a complete cunt. Seriously, I hate those people. This was back in 2012, so it truly was the first version of the Battle Royale PvE survival mode. Kind of. After this was DayZ, although it's more so person versus world, and people occasionally showed up, you know, like The Walking Dead. Now, that was DayZ itself, the mod that was made for Arma 2. Afterwards, PlayerUnknown made a mod for DayZ, which basically turned it into the Battle Royale movie that he absolutely loved. This spawning, basically, a new style of video games. However, they didn't really catch on for quite some time. Later on, H1Z1 King of the Kill was made, and we don't really talk about that. Although, I will have to for the sake of this history lesson. What exactly happened to H1Z1? Well, at first, it wasn't even planned to be a Battle Royale-inspired game. In fact, it was originally intended to be just like DayZ, but better. However, after Brendan Green took over the team and hired people to make it into a Battle Royale-inspired game, it became H1Z1 King of the Kill, and splintered off from H1Z1, which is now named Just Survive, and has got a lot of negative reviews. And how is H1Z1 King of the Kill doing on its own? A lot better than its predecessor. In fact, currently, it stands at 150,179 all-time peak players. Also, Ark Survival Evolved made a mode that was basically just like Fortnite, but long before it, because you were able to build a base, get weapons, and, kind of camp in a little base. It was really stupid, and I hated it, and it shouldn't have been a thing. Oh, also the culling was released, which was short-lived in popularity, but was definitely more like the Hunger Games. A common trend in these was that there was a center you had to get to, and you were always being limited by a wall of death. Much like in the Hunger Games. After PlayerUnknown released his game PUBG to PC, Paladins adopted a Battle Royale mode, as well as Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, and then Fortnite released, all within months after PUBG's release, because they all saw how popular it was getting, and wanted to capitalize off of it. So why is it exactly that I went through the history of Battle Royale? It's really just nice to sit back and see exactly where it is that we're standing now versus where we were years ago. And I'm gonna be fairly honest, we've gotten pretty far from what we had back in Minecraft to what we have now, which is something that, even though it is repetitive to some, can actually be enjoyable and have some quality. It has its charm, and it's just nice overall to play with friends. And there will be times when you get frustrated with the game because you are just not good at the game. Sometimes the game is just bullshit, but even then, those moments are just what makes the game and, makes it fun, makes it. And also another thing, it's just nice to see that Brendan Green has just, helped in so many ways with this amazing, absolutely fantastic style of video game. And honestly, it's fantastic to see that he's finally able to make his own game, but it's sad to see that in the wake of his own game, even though it's really, really buggy and bad, much like all the other ones he's made, it's sad to see that there are so many copycats of a game that he made and of the style of games that he basically made and popularized. It's 5 in the morning and I'm really having trouble coming up with the words. This is unscripted, by the way.